Reforming the Police of Nigeria, former FCT Commissioner of Police, in a recent interview with Newsday, he had to congratulate the IG for his good work. Here is the video.
Emir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So what are your expectations regarding this committee set up by the President to look at police reforms?
Yeah, thank you very much. First, let me congratulate the IG for this his confirmation. It's well deserved. He has shown actually, like it was you mentioned earlier, he has shown professionalism, commitment, and dedication, commitment to ensure that the police perform optimally for the good of the citizens. As regards the police reform, which Mr. President is trying to extend his renewed mantra to the police, which is very, very welcoming, very encouraging. The police long overdue for reforms. There have previous 3 police committees have been set up for police reform, Damandami reform, MDUSU reform, Sunday reform, and all ended in the shelves of various offices. Nothing has been done. No, they don't have they're not able to develop a strong political will to ensure these reforms are being implemented. And it has impacted negatively on police generally. Police performance, their welfare, their training, their capacity, and so forth. It's terrible. So I'm happy that Mr. President, who has been governor of Lagos State, I know in Lagos State, he was one of those who introduced Police Security Trust Fund. He knows the importance of policing. And without policing, I think no country good governance cannot be guaranteed. So I'm happy that it is a welcome development. And I also want to say that the police council should not be meeting when they want to confirm the IG or appoint an IG. They should regularly meet and address the challenges facing the police and how to improve the police. Because the police being the lead agency, they have a very critical role to play in the maintenance of law and order and, of course, internal security of the country. So the areas that we need to address include 1, training and capacity building. An untrained policeman is a threat to the institution, a threat to society, and threat to himself, because we don't know what to do when the time comes for him to perform his duties. Professionalism is very, very important. Again, the welfare. Maslow's theory of motivation talks about physiological need, social need, extreme need, and so forth. Today in Nigeria, the policeman's image has gone down the ebb. It has gone down those dives so much because they have not been able to live up to expectations. It has been proven that the type of government in the country determines the style of policing. We had the colonial administration, we had this brutalized colonial mentality of the we and the they, the colonial masters and the citizens and so forth. They were very oppressive, very repressive and so forth. The abuse of human rights was a common phenomenon. Not too long we got independent, the military came on board, the military ruled by decrees. They jettisoned our constitutional structure, the National Assembly and so forth. They ruled by decrees. And they also don't have regard for human rights. The police was even put to the background. But now we have a democratic dispensation. We need to have a democratic policing structure, democratic policing model, which is anchored on the core values of democracy, which is transparency, accountability, the rule of law, policing based on the needs of the citizens, and of course, to ensure that the rights of the citizens are also respected. And the policeman himself should also be empowered because he's also a part of the society. You cannot give what you don't have. The policeman should not be treated like a slave. Like you recall some time ago, sister agency, Channel Television went to police college Ikeja. They saw in a very dehumanizing environment where the recruits were being trained. The police crew was 70 naira in a day. That is, even the dog in my house does not yet eat more than that. So I think it's going to be holistic, not just be cosmetic reforms. Reforms that will impact positively on the capacity, in terms of capacity, operational effectiveness, in terms of professional investigation, in terms of the equipment. When I was coming up as a young officer, they have designated filling station where policemen vehicles are being filled and fueled. It doesn't exist any longer. As a DPO, I had a staff car. As a commander had a staff car, now Commissioner of Police, AIG don't have staff cars. They buy their cars and just put the flag for ceremonial purposes. It doesn't happen like that. It's not supposed to be so. You need to provide an enabling environment for the police officer to motivate them to perform optimally. Like I talk about training capacity building, So these are things that they are very, very important and need urgent reform. Even attitude of the police officers are men. Internal mechanisms for oversight functions, supervision is weakened. No more mentorship like doing nowadays. There was mentorship. Now not like mentorship any longer. And people are now concerned of how much do I make in a day, not how much can I contribute to my society, how much can I perform. When I was CP Abuja, I told my officer men, I said, as you want your brothers and sisters to be police in your village, that's how you police people in Abuja. You don't extort, you don't brutalize, you don't also demolish anybody. Because police must be with human touch, the fear of God. Policing that is based on democratic principles, that is based on democratic principles, which is human right, accountability, transparency, and also ensuring that you perform based on needs of the security needs of the people, not just based on what you want to do, and based on the law. Section 214 and 215 provide, it's a ground norm, the Nigerian Constitution is a ground norm which provides for some of the Nigerian police force. So, and again, it's a lacuna which I've always emphasized.
Right.
There is no national policing strategy in this country, and that has done it's a great lacuna.
Allow me to interrupt you.
Now, for instance, they have to
Allow me to interrupt you.
Yes,
apologies,
please.
Because we are short on time. We definitely hear what you're saying, and clearly the police force morale is low. For a number of reasons. We are functioning in an outdated system, post-colonial hangover, so to speak. But I want to speak about the interjections into the police force. We do know you listed training and capacity building, welfare, empowerment. But in terms of the money being interjected into the police force, how important is technology?
I'm impressing what the former FCT Commissioner of Police is saying, Lawrence Alobi. And I also know that President Tinubu is also a man of his word. But you guys should also tell me what you think on this and how you feel about it.
Technologically driven and knowledge-based. Knowledge-based that you have to build capacity. And technology today you find security policing should be dynamic, like crime is also dynamic. So with the police need to develop the strategies, be equipped, develop, apply technology in line with the technological trend, with the global trend, to ensure that, like for instance, like kidnapping, for instance, how do we track kidnappers? How do we track terrorists? Look at, for instance, United States of America. One of the citizens was kidnapped into Nigerian soil. They were able to track him and got him rescued. It's technology. Technology will go a long way in not only complementing, but in strengthening the policing effectiveness of the country. But because, you see, talking about funding should be based on needs of the police. And budgeting is based on needs. When they budget, this is what we need. Sometimes the National Assembly will give 1/4 of what they are budgeted. Like, how do you meet the requirements? So I want to appeal to the National Assembly. Please, police budgeting should be looked into. And not only when it is approved, the release too is also a problem. Sometimes the Ministry of Finance does not even release or even half of what is being approved. So budgeting is based on needs. Needs in terms of equipment, in terms of training, in terms of logistics. Look at their barracks. Go to police barracks. Sometimes I feel ashamed when I go to police barracks. I weep in my heart. You know, police barracks, no vehicles. Go to police, no vehicles, no patrol vehicles. When there's a distress call, they cannot respond because they say no fueling, no vehicle. This is not acceptable at all in a country like Nigeria. We are supposed to be giant of Africa. Outside the shores of this country, I was in charge of peacekeeping when I was in federal operations. For 6 years, I was the first operation. And outside the shores of this country, our officers and men excel in peacekeeping operations. Why they won't come to internally, when come to Nigeria, we are being seen as non-performers. It's an environmental factor. Nigerian police is operating in a very defective environment, very toxic environment. The public are not even willing to cooperate. Section 24 of the Constitution provides that. It's constituted to a very Nigerian citizen to assist the security agencies in maintaining law and order. But most Nigerians are concerned with their right, my right. Oh, what about their obligations? When they are right, there's a corresponding obligation of the citizens. You know, Ross should social contract to protect that. The citizens have to forget some of their rights. You know, they stay protected. But now citizens, once they are right, they don't think about the obligations. You must think, how do I contribute? Like Mr. President said, we have to change our attitude, our perception of society. Not everything want to parasitic attitude, want to get. You want to contribute, you want to add value. Look at where now you are, wherever you are now, you're receiving we are breathing oxygen, free rain, free sunshine. What are you contributing to society? Man was created to contribute to the betterment of the society, to add value. That's why we are there to serve. But we don't see service as a culture, as a value that we need to imbibe in this country. We think about getting.
Very well said,
we
Mr.
inculcate a parasitic culture.
Well, very well said, Mr.
Thank
Alobi.
you.
But I'm wondering, is this committee really necessary? You've pointed to the fact that several committees have been set up and their reports are gathering dust. And of course, we remember that after the NSAS protest, a judicial panel of inquiry was established to investigate human rights abuses by the police, propose compensation and recommend reforms. Now, the panel has submitted its report. It's made several recommendations for police reforms, yet they've not been implemented. So how do we also tackle the issue of police brutality and restoring confidence and trust in the police?
Yeah, you see, I mentioned about democratic policing. I said that it has been proven by police experts that the type of government in a country determines the style of policing. I gave you history about colonial policing, militarized policing, and even today in democracy, we're trying to militarize policing in this country. For instance, let me give you an example. Why should, in a democratic dispensation where a military officer should be ADC to visit head of state? It's not supposed to be so. Policing, even when Shagari was president of this country, his ADC was Gimba, Assistant Commissioner of Police. So we don't have to militarize policing. We don't unconsciously militarize policing, which is not the best thing. What, like, in relation to your question, what this committee should now do is that you gather all these reforms that have been, recommendations that have been made from various committees, synchronize them, harmonize them, and look at now how they can be applied in the present reality of the country. And not just that they just dump them in the shell. I am very happy that President Tinubu is a courageous man. He's a man, he walks his talk. And I'm sure he's going to do something better for the Nigerian police force. And I want to also say that the police too is also an enemy of itself. The internal lapses in the police system. Postings are done, promotions are done based on parochial considerations, not based on capacity and competence, not based on merit. This should not be allowed. We should ensure that we have a system where only the best can be made to be there. Only the best can be appointed as an IG. Not just based on parochial considerations, based on ethnic or religious considerations. No, it doesn't help the society. It's a disservice to the society. So I think when I went on course in Scotland Yard, the chief police in London was not appointed by the Prime Minister. It was a conclave of police officers. Sat amongst them, they choose whom they think should lead them the best, who has capacity in terms of intellectual capacity, the operational capacity, and so forth. Even character. So I think these are things we should address in appointing our IG. Our leadership of the force should also be concerned about the welfare of their men. The welfare of the men, look at the barracks. Look at barracks. A barracks is an eyesore. For me, it's very shameful and embarrassing. And again, the police should be excluded from political control. It is very, very, very important. Should be excluded from political control. Because when if now the government will tell you you are under the federal government. The governor of a state has political role to play, but not a operational role. Operationally, the commissioner of police is to direct the affairs of police in that state, and the IG is also to direct operational activities of the country. So I think we should all know this. Our governors should know this. Our governors should know that policing is very key about their governance. Without policing, they could know good governance.
Well,
so they should also ensure they be committed to ensure the police of.
Mr. Alobi, apologies once again for interrupting you, but we have
Let me know your thoughts in the comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and stay on our channel to get all updates and be the first to get notified in the future. Thanks for watching, guys.